What this video needs is more ether band. Ether band is a term I smithed to account for the manifold miraging effects observed over distance, whether terrestrial or aquatic. Aether simply refers to the air and all its constituent elements which compose its nature. Band refers to that area of 3D space which contains the observation being made. This band can be as broad as the entire field of view or a smaller, isolated section. The aether band is the cause of every minute and alternating effect under the broad category of mirage. That is, fata morgana, inferior mirage, or superior mirage, or any other optical or atmospheric distortion or refraction or whatever the hell happens out there.
If those of you out there who are watching this show right now would not mind participating in the fundraiser, right? This GoFundMe is a fundraiser so that I can be equipped to do this research and publish it, okay? I can't do it with my full-time job. I just can't. I'm trying to share this. Okay, so this is an opportunity if you are out there and you have the ability to participate this way. If you don't, then share it. You know, share it. Somebody out there will see it, but this is my GoFundMe. And if okay, here we go. The horizon is created by refraction. Oh, Travis, where's your evidence? Travis, where's your proof of that? Where's your proof? Do you have any proof of that? Bro, can you even back up your claim, bro? Yeah, I can do it. Give me a second real quick. I got to open up a different browser. This one. Where'd it go? What the crack, man? Right here. This is the venerable and esteemed Andrew Thomas Young. Just so you don't say I'm cherry picking or whatever, I'll just read the whole thing. You got this right here? Okay, I'm going to read this all for you. Okay, so I don't have any whining globe flakes out there who can't handle the truth. A mirage model should reproduce not just an inverted image, but also its size and varying magnification. Oh, I'm sorry. You're saying that a mirage magnifies? That's what Andrew Thomas Young just said. As well as the transition between erect and inverted images. Until recently, inferior mirages have not been modeled correctly. The physicists who studied mirages did not know the actual temperature profile over warm surfaces, which seems to be understood only by boundary layer meteorologists. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up. Who are these boundary layer meteorologists, right? So put that in there real quick and let it be, okay? Excuse me, sorry for coughing in here. Early mirage models used unrealistic polynomial profiles that allowed closed form solutions. The lower edge of an inferior mirage at sea forms the apparent horizon. Did you get that? Let's do this. the horizon is created by a refraction phenomenon. Either with or without mirage. These are my terms right now, okay? These are my terms. I appreciate that honesty there, Trivia Master. Here is an obvious inferior mirage. The mirage is not vertical, but along the x-axis and includes the apparent sky to either side, I should say either side, of the buildings. This apparent limit to the water is not physical, but optical and the result of the conditions of the medium through which the observation is being made. Okay? So what I want to do right now is show you, okay, there's this. Okay, this is what you cannot see with your naked eye. You can't see it. You can't see this with your naked eye. Would you like to see what you see with your naked eye? Right there. You see that? Let me make that bigger. Okay. There's this. And there's this. Okay, there's this and there's this. Now, when you look out to the horizon with your naked eye, please tell me if you think you can see the inferior mirage. Okay? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller?
Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? Bueller?
Bueller? Do you think that your naked eye can see the inferior mirage that's out there? No chance. Damn straight no chance. So here comes the magic trick. There is an inferior mirage out on the horizon. This is an absolutely beautiful picture. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. I have to find this in paint. Let's see. Is that in paint? Yes, this is in paint. Okay, so now we're going to go back to paint for a second. Let me bring up my chat window so I can see in case anybody makes a comment. Okay. All right, so let me do this. Okay. Okay. So the imperfections on that horizon prove it has been created by the inferior mirage. Yeah, yes, that's correct. I would say that's correct. Yeah. Let me go back to this. Let me go back to this image right here. Okay. Now the reality. Let's just pick. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit just for a little bit of clarity here. Okay. Right here in the middle, this central object that you're looking at right here. If you are looking here with your naked eye, this is a vertical 90-degree observation. A vertical 90-degree observation, right? Buildings are built at 90 degrees, are they not? Now, to be sure, the walls can have angles, but the floors are level, right? You don't build a house, you don't build these buildings with uneven flooring. You don't do it. You don't do it. Am I right? Okay, this is the concept that I want you to see. This is the default that I think everyone has. When you see something in the distance and you know what reality is, you're like, yeah, that thing's just straight up and down. You just take it for granted, okay? However, because there's an inferior mirage, there's a point at which this observation is no longer 90 degrees, okay? So we're gonna break that down right now. This building here is 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, is where the ground level of this building is. I think. Okay. So, but what I do know is that this is where the mirage starts. Okay, this is the fold line of the mirage. So what that means is that this. Let's do this. This section right here. That is not physical. Okay, that's not physical. This section of this image. This section right here is on the x-axis. It is on the x-axis, which means, ladies and gentlemen, that from this horizon, this angle, this degree of angle is distance and height. You know, because the one thing that Rumpus and everybody else says is that whatever's missing in this building right here, no, let me not do that. Let me do a square. Or this maybe. All right. Whatever is missing in this building right here, they have a problem with this. They have a difficulty comprehending this. They'll say, "Oh, how can this much of the building be compressed in that?" I don't know how much it, or how it can. I'm just telling you that that's what's happening, right? So this is what the problem is with blink tests, is that the amount of magnification and refraction that is happening to a building, you know, let's see. Let me try to see how I can say this real quick. So this is like what B-Ball has, right? If you go to B-Balls, he's got a cityscape, and you can count the floors. So you know, now I don't know how many floors are down here. I don't know how many floors this is, right? How many, what space here is like 10 floors? How many floors is here? I don't know. So am I saying that the entire building is right here? Well, right now, I don't know what that building is and how high it is. So I'll say, yeah, sure. I'm good with that. I'm okay with that concept, right? Let's say the whole building is right here. That's fine with me. My point is, the image that you see with your naked eye is not the whole building. This is what the ballers want to do. The ballers want to say, the reason why we can't see the sailboat is because the bottom of the sailboat is behind water, okay? And I've already walked through my Shinola on this for the longest time. So, and I have to do it again, and I have to write it down, all right? So, Snowman, do you think the fold line would happen at ground level? No, no. Now, that would only be true if the ground level were elevated, right? So I can show you that with my red roof house. I can show you because the red roof house is elevated, but it's on the ground. So if you, by ground level, Snowman, are you talking the shoreline or ground level? Because actually last night on Brandon's show that I hosted, we looked at footage from Pontchartrain where we talked about a little bit of this. So good question. He says, I guess it would happen above the ground level, allowing atmospheric influence. Yeah, but again, I would say you'd have to get at a higher elevation. You'd like to see infrared versions of these. Yeah, I'm of the persuasion. I can show you infrared pictures. Red Cloud, I can show you infrared pictures of the Anacapa Islands, and we could look at that. I don't believe that the infrared cuts through the Mirage. Actually, I don't think that that can happen, but that's just my opinion. Okay, but the point that I want you to understand is that the horizon here, right? If we put a boat on the horizon and we had the coordinates, we would know how far that boat is from this building. We would know how far the boat is from the shore, okay? So what I'm going to do right now is say that just for kicks and shiggles, that's where the ground is. That's where the ground is. Okay? So what that means then is there's the ground right here. That's the shoreline right here. Right here. So but no, Travis, no. I see sky. Travis, there's sky right here. Yeah. There's a Mirage. No, that's on the building, Travis. Travis, that's the building's Mirage. Right. This is a Mirage. This is a Mirage. This is what is not understood. I have not seen anyone talking about this. And I would actually say that Andrew Thomas Young hit the concept on the head here, but he doesn't understand what he said. He doesn't, unless he does, and he's being dishonest, right? Because in my conversations with him, he's not a flat earther, and he's not open to flat earth, because the minute I stepped up my game with him, he cut off conversation. No more correspondence, unless he died. Okay? The lower edge of an inferior mirage at sea forms the apparent horizon. He says this without any qualification, folks. He says this without any qualification. All right? This is Andrew Thomas Young right here. Okay, Andrew Thomas Young. Okay, boom. Okay, listen. Listen very carefully, everybody. I mean, this is gold. Okay, this, if you're interested in this, this is gold right here. What we're doing, this is gold. Okay, no one's saying this, as far as I know. And look, okay, this is a Mirage. This is a Mirage. The lower edge of an inferior mirage at sea forms the apparent horizon. Andrew Thomas Young. The lower edge, that's this right here, forms the apparent horizon. Now, since last year, when I debunked Sean G on my videos, why can't Sean G horizon? But I've been saying this, and I said it before I read this article. And I got shut down by the trolls. I got shut down by Rumpus. I got shut down by all these knuckleheads who don't freaking do any field observations. Okay? Listen to me very carefully, please. Very carefully. This is a Mirage right here. This is a Mirage. Just like this is a Mirage, just like this is a Mirage. Why can you not see the ground or anything? Why can't you see the water that's here? There's water here because Lake Pontchartrain goes and goes and goes and goes, goes to the shoreline. That's the shoreline. Okay? So you tell me how much distance, how much height is compressed and swallowed up in this atmospheric phenomenon. What did I just say? The stream is dead. I said atmosphere. This refraction phenomenon. All right? This is the aether band. This all right here is the aether band. Aether band, aether band, aether band. In this small field of view here, in this band, we are not seeing sky. This is not sky. Okay. All right. So here I zoom in even more, and you can clearly, oh, that's the other point that I wanted to make on that real quick. And let me go back and let me undo that. Okay. So what I want to show you right now is this. This is okay. You might have a problem with me saying that this is a mirage. This entire band is a mirage. Oh, Travis, that's not. Oh, no way. No way, Travis. There's no way that's a mirage. Okay, so this building here has enough elevation that we do not see the top, right? So what that means is that this entire I don't want Phil. Okay, this entire square here, right, is an inferior mirage with the this is what Andrew Thomas Young and other mirageologists say, okay? This is the erect image. This is the physical image. This is the erect image. This is the mirrored image of this. The proportions match, okay? This is not vertical. This is not vertical. I'm going to say it again. This is not a 90-degree image. Just like this is not a 90-degree image. I'm not moving up in my vision 90 degrees. I'm looking out farther, and this is farther. It's not up. This is now up. You see that? That's up. This is over. Okay, so I'm going to do this again for this one. Okay, from the shoreline, I'm sorry, from the disclosing line, from the disclosing line to the object, that's distance. How far away is that? You know, that would be the science in this, because the horizon here, the next day could be down here. The horizon could be up here, right? So put a boat here, and you're going to know how much distance this is on this day. On this day, you know what I'd like you to do, Barumpus? You know what I'd like you to do, Dean? You know what I would like you to do, Sean G? Is you want a prediction? I want you to predict how far away the horizon will be. Oh, well, our model works perfectly. Our model is just the perfect model. I can make predictions, and we can know what's going to happen, and it's just wonderful. Okay, predict this. Predict how far the horizon is going to be from, or predict what this degree of angle is going to be. Surely you can math the shit out of that. No, you can't. I'm just going to tell you, don't do it. Don't. You'll be wasting your time. It's too difficult for you because you don't understand. Oh, see, I get distracted. So here's where I'm trying to go with this, okay? See, okay, look at the difference here. You see the difference here from the left? This image here has, it's floating. This image is floating. This image is floating. This image is floating. This image isn't floating. Why isn't it floating? Why? Why isn't that floating? Because it is higher than these buildings. These buildings are lower, so we can see the full image, right? This building is right here. Everything, this whole building is right here. What I noticed right now that I want to highlight again, let me try to make my point that I am trying to make. Okay. The point that I'm trying to make for you is this, okay? This building right here is too high for us to see a full image of an inferior mirage. Okay? The symmetry, like if these buildings didn't exist right here, the symmetry of these two buildings right here is too vertical and without angle for us to understand that this is in an inferior mirage. If you simply looked at this building by itself, you would think that this were the entire building. It's not. This is not the entire building. Well, where's the rest of the building? Where's the bottom of the building? I'm going to tell you for Smurf, it's not down here. It's not behind the water. Okay? So, Travis, how do you know that this building is in an inferior mirage? Because we got this right here. That right, this is wrong. This building was not built with a lipoma. Okay, this is not a building lipoma. All right. This is an inferior mirage. Oh, you might, well, maybe it was built that way. Okay, sure, maybe. How about this one? Is this a spaceship? It's floating in the air. So what we need to understand is that the Aether band, okay, the Aether band is in this space right here. It's in the entire space, all right? Don't misunderstand me, but we're focusing on this particular band right here, okay? Everything in this rectangle right here is a mirage. Everything. Everything. What do you mean everything, Travis? This is a mirage. This is a mirage. This is a mirage. And this is a mirage. This is a mirage. This is a mirage. This is a mirage. This to Smurf is a mirage. Okay? Now, again, I still haven't made my point. Get to the point. What we have here is a beautiful grade of an inferior mirage. Okay, so this is the erect image of the building. This is the top of the building inverted, right? Now, this is not symmetrical because if you cut this image in half, it doesn't equal itself. Okay, so there's a bit of distortion, and I would call that distortion magnification. What do you mean, Travis? The top of this building is bigger than it should be if you were to draw this building at this distance on paper. Okay? This is magnified, this is magnified, this is magnified, and this is magnified. Okay? Draw me these pictures, draw me these buildings with their dimensions on a piece of paper, their angular size at the distance that I'm making this observation. They will be smaller on paper than this. That means this is magnification. My point is, this, you cannot cut this one in half exactly. The mirage is down here. So you see this? Okay, look at this. I'm talking out loud. This is, this is gold right here. This is gold. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to give it right there. Okay, you see that? So now I'm going to put that. No, I'm going to do it backwards. Okay, I'm going to start at. I think that this building has an aerial. I think there's an aerial there. Okay, so here is the entire image of this building. Now, again, what I mean by aerial, if you don't know, and I'm not trying to belittle you, but there's an antenna. I think that there's an antenna there. Now look at, you see the antenna? Okay, okay, you see this antenna? Right here to right here, okay? This is 28 miles away. You think that this antenna is going to be, blink test that for me, Travis. If I blink test this sail from this sailboat, and then if I make it exactly the same thing, and I cut and paste and shrink and blink. Okay, look, there is an antenna right there. This is 28 miles away. This is not the size of the antenna. Okay? Now, back to our regularly scheduled program. I'm going to mark off the erect image here, okay? Now, clearly, the inverted image is not to scale. It's not an equal proportion. The inverted image is smaller, okay? So I'm just going to do this for kicks and shiggles. Here is the size of the inverted. Here is the physical image here. There's the physical image. Now, by contrast, the inverted image is compressed. You see that? The inverted image. Oh my goodness. The inverted image is compressed. This is the physical, and it's bigger than its inversion. Okay? Now, I still haven't made the original point. We have a space above the horizon that looks like sky, okay? This is what I was trying. My argument was that this is all mirage. This is not sky. And someone would say, well, look, I see the sky right there. What are you talking about, Travis? Well, is this a mirage? Yeah, I think that I can understand what you're saying. I think that this entire image is a mirage. Okay, so are you okay with saying that this part of the building down here, or I'm sorry, this part of the image down here is not the physical building? Yeah, I think I can go with that. Okay, well, can you see sky here? No, I can't see sky here. Can you see any sky here? No, I can't see any sky here. Can you see the sky right here? Yeah. And it's bigger, and then it's bigger, because this building is smaller, this building is smaller, this building is taller, this building is taller, no sky, Taller, no sky. Tallest, no sky. Not tall enough. Boop. Okay. Thanks, Alexander. Appreciate it. Okay, now here is where I'm going to try to unpack. Let me try to gather my thoughts, because I told myself that I was going to write this morning, and I had to handle things. I had to up my my internet here in the apartment because Streamlabs was tanking, and I couldn't figure out anything else to do. So I think it's my bandwidth. So, and they probably cut back on it. You know, they're all in cahoots, right? They know what I'm doing. They're like, oh, we got to cut this guy's bandwidth down so that he ups his plan, whatever. Okay, let me try to see what I was going to say about this. So. Let me do this. This is the Flying Dutchman. Okay. This represents the Flying Dutchman. Right? That legend of that legend of yore, that legend of the yesteryears. Okay. The legend of the Flying Dutchman is that sailors out at sea, mariners on the open water, miles and miles away from other ships, looked out and saw that the water had a limit. You know what they assumed? They saw that the water had a limit. And they also saw a maritime vessel with the sky underneath it. And they said to themselves, what are we seeing? What are we seeing? How is this ship with no inferior mirage? This ship has no inferior mirage. I'm going to make it even. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to make it smaller and farther away. Actually, let me do this. Okay. This boat is really, really small. It's really far away. This is like 25 miles, 30 miles away, right? From us. Here we are. This is the viewer's perspective. This is the egocentric perspective here. Well, let me do this. Get more angles or more accuracy with these angles this way. Okay. I wanted a regular. Oh, there it is. Okay. This is our perspective. And we see this boat with the sky underneath it. Where in the world could that boat be? Where boats don't float up in the air. Right? Boats don't float up in the air. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what this would look like if we were on the open ocean and there were no mirage underneath this boat. You ready? All you would see is a boat on the water. That's no big deal, right? But when there's a mirage and you see a boat with sky underneath it and you do not understand that this is a mirage, well, why isn't the boat in a mirage, Travis? Why is it? Because it is farther away and above, just like this, right? Just like this. Okay? If you don't have a problem with my saying that this is a mirage, and you don't say to me, well, why is it the top of the thing? Because it's higher. It's higher. Well, why is it the... Because it's farther away, and in perspective, things rise up. This is not difficult, people. It's not difficult. This is not difficult. This is not difficult.